I want to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Want to apologize. We had some technical issues going on there. You might have seen one video that went out that I had to bring down because I understand that you all wasn't seeing us. And so I think I had my Facebook in private mode, although I was in public mode on my show. So I'm hoping that you all can see me now. We're going to get this show started. I do have a special guest today, as I indicated, Councilman Matt Perrin. He will be coming on to speak to you all today on the petition that is in circulation to gather signatures, asking a question of you, which will most likely go to the ballot sometime in March. And so, which the question would be, are you in favor of trying a system which is the city management structure form of government? I'm kind of throwing too many words at you out there, but city manager, that's what we're going to be talking about, okay? As opposed to what we have now, which is a mayor and city council form of government, okay? And so, want you all just to sit tight, and we're going to be coming back, and we're going to be getting this show started for you. So don't you all go nowhere now, right? Please understand that Testify is a podcast created with the intended purpose to share information with the communities. Any and all comments and expression are those of the guests and viewers and not the host of Testify. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say welcome back again to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Again, I have my guest on, Mr. Matt Perrin, where he will be discussing with you on the petition that is in circulation, asking of you, the voters, hopefully sometime in March, do you want to try something different, which is a city management form of government, okay? As you know, presently we have a mayor and city council form of government, and so that's what will possibly come to you once they collect these signatures. Well, I'll let him explain it, but that's what we're going to be talking about, okay? Now, I do, for those of you who probably did not see Councilman Perrin interview with KAIT, and so I want to upload that right now, which I have it uploaded, and I want to push that over for you and let you all go ahead and hear what Mr. Perrin has.
Petition is on the table that would change the structure of the city of Blytheville's government if it is approved and voted on in a special election. Our Jake Tester spoke with one person in charge of this petition and what's behind the push for change. Jake.
Blytheville City Councilman Matt Perrin said the main reason for this petition is to try and take politics out of running a city.
We are 100% reactionary. We're never looking a year ahead, 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead. We're just waiting for the next emergency.
A structural change to how the city of Blytheville is run. If the petition is approved, the city council and the mayor will be replaced with a board of directors and a city manager. Blytheville City Councilman Matt Perrin, who has played a significant role in starting this petition, said the way the city is run now, there is too much focus on staying elected and weaving through politics, something Perrin says he sees often.
It's an unnecessary burden, and our departments are impacted negatively. Our day-to-day operations suffer for it.
Which is something Blytheville resident Kim Quintero agrees with.
Yeah, I think a change is definitely needed in Blytheville. The system that they have in place now does not seem to be focused on making Blytheville better. It just seems to be more focused on who can get reelected again and again. And so I'm all for it.
But it's not just taking the politics out of the government that Perrin believes this will accomplish.
Whereas a city manager has gone to school, has gotten the degrees to run a city, you know, unfortunately in our current system, there are no qualifications to be the mayor. And so what that means is even the best candidate who gets elected, they spend the first 2, maybe 3 years learning the job.
For the board of directors, members would be elected every 4 years and would be in charge of hiring the city manager. As for the petition, Perrin said they're still in the process of getting signatures, but if they get enough, it could lead to a special election. Reporting live in Blytheville, Jake Tester, K8 News.
All right, thank you, Jake.
Well, all right. So hopefully you all gathered something from that interview with KAIT, with Councilman Matt Perrin. And so that's what we're going to be discussing today. Do you all, or meaning the city of Blytheville, do you want to try something different? If so, Councilman Matt Perrin have some information that he will be sharing with you and I in terms of exactly how this thing is going to be played out, okay? And so there was something else that I had to show you before I do that. Oh, yes. And I also got a QA code that I'm going to be putting before you all. I'll go ahead and bring it over now. But this is what I want you all to, perhaps before we end this show, I want you to simply take your cell phone and I want you to scan that barcode and I want you to vote. We're going to come back. We're going to look at that pie chart to see which way the needle is moving. Is it moving closer to yes? Is it moving closer to no, which is red? Or if you're unsure, or if it moving somewhere like in the middle, I mean the last one, which is yellow. Look like the voting is taking place now. Look like I'm seeing how green is, as you can see as well. Look like green is having its way, okay? It's having its way. So far, as you can see, the pie chart there, it shows to where if this vote was had today, that you will see over probably right at about, I'll say 65% of the people as we're looking at it right now. Well, it done changed again. So that's what we're going to be watching, okay? You all keep voting. We're going to come back and we're going to look at this chart and we're going to see which way the needle is moving, okay? So go ahead and keep voting. And I was going to pause the voting, but I think I'm going to go ahead and leave the voting open for right now. This is for the city of Blytheville now. We're asking all Blytheville voters to vote. Now, this representation that you're looking at, by no means is I'm saying that this is 100%. This is just us testing the water, saying exactly, you know, if you had to go vote today, how would this thing fall? All right. So we're going to come back. We're going to look at that a little bit later. So let's get back to the show, that is. All right. So that's what I wanted to show you, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, without any further ado, I want to bring on my special guest, Councilman Matt Perrin, and I want to allow him to go ahead and speak to you a little bit about this petition that is in circulation, exactly how it works, and how you can play your part, okay? All right, so without any further ado, I want to go ahead and bring on my special guest. Let me go ahead and put him in here correctly. My special guest, Mr. Matt Perrin. We have him on right now, and let's give him a round of applause. How you doing, Mr. Perrin? Councilman Perrin.
I'm all right. Mr. Perrin's fine. I really appreciate you having me on, Tony. Truly.
Oh, no problem. You know, anytime there's a lot of confusion out there in the community, I don't know how many heard me the last time, but you and Councilman Mayberry is about the only two council members that have ever came onto my show. In fact, you two, Councilman Mayberry at the time, and as well as yourself, my very first show, you all were my very first guest. And so I want to appreciate you yet for tuning in to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. You always take a stand. You don't run from issues, and I thank you for coming speaking to my viewers today. Okay, and so there's a lot of things that has been said about this petition, and we're gonna probably run through it as we go through here. I'm gonna get my banner here, put something else back up here. But what we will be talking about, for those of you who are looking on, we will be talking about voters will decide to convert to a city manager opposed to the present mayor and council structure of government as we know it now. And so that's what we're going to be discussing today. And so I'm going to go ahead and allow Councilman Matt Perrin to come on and go ahead and tell you a little bit about himself, how long he's been on the council, and why he's bringing this petition, just a little short snapshot of it, okay? And so, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you, as you can see him now, I'm going to go ahead and put him solo, Councilman Matt Perrin.
Well, again, Tony, thanks for having me. I'm honored to have been your first guest, and I'm happy to still be here. It is a little bit troubling that more elected officials aren't finding outlets like this, and we'll get to that in a second. But I really want to talk about city manager, the what, the why, and the how. We've been talking about this publicly for about a week. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of information out there, and what is out there is mostly misinformation. So I want to try to give the facts. I want to tell you why I think it's a good idea, and then how we go about it.
All right now.
And so the simple premise is, right now Blytheville has a city council mayor form of government. The state law allows us an alternative, which is the city manager board of directors. It's been in effect for decades. There are 8 cities who already subscribe to this formation. It's been in America for over 100 years. It is an alternative, a different way of doing things that hopefully leads to a more effective, more efficient government.
Okay.
And so right now, the people elect their city councilmen, their city council persons, and they elect their mayor. What we are suggesting is that maybe we appoint someone with a degree, with a master's degree in public administration, with the skills, the knowledge, and the experience to actually run a city of our size. And a great analogy, I know that our school district is going through it right now, and I'm hopeful for the fresh start. But we don't elect a superintendent; we elect a school board. A functioning school district elects a school board to go out and find the most qualified person possible to run the schools. I think we should be doing the same thing with our city. Right now, what's broken, and I guess I'll speak to the city manager's duties. Simply are running the day-to-day operations of the city, overseeing the departments. Because right now, what we have put onto the mayor's task, and this is, I want to stress, through no fault of Melissa Logan or the current administration or past administrations, the job of mayor is day-to-day operations, overseeing department heads, setting vision, setting long-term plans, dealing with the ugly politics of the city council. And we want to separate those responsibilities, because when the mayor's plate is overloaded, our departments suffer, and thereby our citizens suffer. The city manager's only job is to run the day-to-day operations and oversee departments. And they are a qualified individual with a master's in public administration with the knowledge, the skills, and the experience to run our city.
So by all means, as you indicated, so this is not some. I've been getting certain, I will say, a few calls as well as a few messages. In fact, I've seen some on Facebook where they saying, well, Matt Perrin is he's just reaching for power. You know, so before we
Yeah.
move on, you could to speak to that just right quick. I mean, are you a power grabber or grabbing for power?
I don't believe I am, and I'll speak pretty plainly that I have no interest in being the mayor of Blytheville. I have no interest in being the city manager. I'm not qualified to be a city manager. I'm a certified public accountant. That is what I'm good at. That is what I plan to do. I would like for the city to go find a qualified city manager to clean up our departments and to get this city running smoothly.
And for the record, you have no ill will for the mayor or the council.
None. I'm disappointed in the council that occasionally. I think that I like to believe that we're all doing our best, but I'm not sure that our best is good enough. You know, frankly, the best time to have gotten a city manager probably would have been 30 years ago. The second best time to do it is now.
Well, let me ask you this here. Some of your colleagues, that is, may think that you're somewhat overstepping your boundaries in terms of, I don't know what type of rules that you all have to govern yourselves, whatever. Is there anything that the council can do to you in terms of trying to force some type of disciplinary action or even bring up the idea of trying to say that you need to resign or they shall recall you? Is there anything legally that they can do to you?
Not as far as I'm aware. I'm acting as within my right as a public citizen. I think it's time for change. We are taking this to the people. Just to get it on the ballot, it requires 400 signatures. That doesn't mean we have to convince 400 people that it's the right thing. We just have to convince 400 people that we should let the voters decide. And then hopefully if we get it to the ballot, then in March, we want the people to decide. I've seen some comments about suppressing the people's voice and the people's vote. This is not that. You know, the way that is done is through gerrymandering and ugly politics. We're doing the opposite. The board of directors that we are proposing will continue to be one board member elected from each of the 3 wards and 4 board members elected at large, which means the entire city will get to vote on 4 of the 7 board members.
So explain that to those who don't know. You had mentioned gerrymandering, which I talk about that a lot myself. Exactly, just give them just a little short, in terms of what does that word actually mean when we hear that word gerrymandering?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know the book definition, but gerrymandering unfortunately is rampant in this country. It's essentially drawing district lines in order for the elected people to decide who votes for them rather than the voters to decide who represents them. Okay. It's we're seeing it in the national politics. Well. We see it in Texas happening. We see it a response to Texas happening in California. It just it's a shame because the voters should pick their representatives, not the other way around.
I think a better way of explaining the gerrymandering is they go ahead and rig the districts to favor a particular party or a particular candidate. Is what is going on, like in Texas, as you indicated. And so that is nothing that is going on here. What you're saying is that this will be an equal opportunity for the whole city of Blytheville as well, or for, whatever city manager that is appointed or whatever board of directors that, is seated. What are you saying is everything, no one would be, cut short. In other words, it'll be an opportunity for the voters to have some say, as I understand it.
Yes, to have some say in who is representing them at the table to help find the right city manager for this job. And so, I mean, I can speak to um, the timeline a little bit. The timeline is fairly clear that we're going to get these signatures in. We're hoping for it to be on the ballot in March during the.
So how you doing with the signatures? Are they moving pretty good?
They're moving. Yeah, they're moving pretty well. I don't have an exact count because we've had people call and stop by the house or stop by the office and take petitions to go find signatures. So we're moving along, but we'll be out and about. I put our website under my name there that keeps popping up. We've got our information. If you want to sign, if you want to help get signatures, please reach out. We'd love to have you help because we want this to be a group effort.
Okay, go ahead and I think it went away. My name, it comes and go. It's about 8 seconds and go away.
Yeah,
But let me
that's
ask you this here. In terms of this city manager, is it a high turnover rate? I mean, do they come and go? Do they move so quickly? For example, let me just talk hypothetically. Let's just say we hire a city manager today. Okay, let's just say 6 months down the road, for whatever reason, this city manager decide to move on, probably either to retire or whatever, or just move on to the next bigger and brighter thing. How will the city operate at that point without a city manager? I mean, will we go back to the mayor and council somewhat stepping up until we rehire or seek another city manager? How would that play out if the city manager just up and just leave after we done hired him?
Well, I hope that doesn't happen, and I hope that the board will use professional help in seeking out the right city manager. But I also don't want a city manager who's going to stay here forever. We talked to the folks up in Sykeston who have a city manager. Mm-hmm. They've had a city manager for 20 years, and they've had two. The first one was there for 10 years, did a good job, and decided to move along, and so they've hired another one who's now been there for roughly 10 years. So we don't want the same person forever, but we hope that, especially if it's their decision to move on or to leave, we'll have a plan in place to replace them.
So if I hear you correctly, there is no high turnover rate when it comes to city manager.
No, these are people who have gone to graduate school specifically to do these jobs. And I've heard whispers about, like, well, who's going to come to Blytheville? Well, let me back up and say that because I heard the question, well, who do we have in Blytheville who could be the city manager? The answer is no one. Unless you know someone in Blytheville with a degree in public administration, I don't think we have that. And so we would hire from outside. Now, by state law, while they are the city manager, they will live in the city limits. They will not have family members employed with the city. Those are state statutes, and those are on the website as well.
Let me ask you this here: until we hire a city manager, would the mayor and council yet be in, I guess, in power of authority there is in terms of to make decisions until we hire a city manager? Because I'm also hearing something about a board of directors. How does that work out? You have a council, and I think I read somewhere to where a board of directors is also is to be. Are they elected or are they seated as well?
Yeah, and I realize I'm jumping in and out. The people that will be elected are the board of directors, the seven member board of directors, one from each ward, 4 at large. When they start their job, their first step is to appoint a mayor from amongst themselves, who will be a ceremonial mayor who will represent the city at meetings and at functions, who will sign ordinances and contracts. And then their second immediate job is to find us a city manager. In that in between time where we need an acting city manager, you know, in my mind, it would most likely be our CFO, Mr. Cowens. The research we've done, a lot of cities have a city manager, and their assistant city manager is also their CFO. We've got a CFO in place, who frankly has done a good job, and so I would imagine, but it's not going to be my call. I would imagine that Mr. Cowens would hopefully fill those shoes while the board finds us a city manager.
Okay, so it'll be, and his title right now is the
CFO.
CFO of the city, Chief Finance Officer. Is that what that
Yes,
stands
sir.
for? Okay. Well, let me go over here to the board. We do have, we take a little break right now and like to go over here and see what's going on. Miss, your wife, that is, she put the website, and that's the website to do exactly what now?
That website has where you can sign the petition. It has every single state statute regarding this. It's got a form that you can ask questions if you're afraid of getting bullied on Facebook. And so we're keeping it up there. Just go on over and check it out and explore.
Okay. We also have got another question over here. I mean, it's up to you. I'm just showing the questions. It's up to you
Sure.
whether or not you want to respond, or maybe now or later. You know, it's up to you.
Sure.
But we're just taking a little break right now, lay intermission, or whatever you want to call it. That is. Okay, so we have another one here to where I'm gonna have to enlarge this because my eyeballs sometimes is not as good as, and I got glasses on too. But it says so with the city manager, they only make the decisions for the town, and the city doesn't have any say so. I think you sort of touched base on that. I don't know if Mr. Blankenship heard you when you spoke earlier.
Well, but I mean, I'm happy to say more. You know, the same state limitations are going to be in place. The city manager won't get to spend over a certain dollar amount without board approval. The city manager has to follow the law, and so the board still creates the law. The hope is that the board is no longer involved in day-to-day activities. And I'll give you a great example. Code enforcement right now, for all its past faults and current faults, they have done a phenomenal job identifying residential properties for condemnation. We've torn down over 200 properties. When they do that, they follow the letter of the law step by step. They work with property owners. I've seen it. They work with property owners more than is even required by the law. And then they have to bring it to the council for condemnation. It should be kind of a non-issue, but then 6 members of the council end up sitting on stage and debating property by property what should be done about it. Well, code enforcement's at the mic saying we should condemn it. Our deputy city attorney is at the mic saying we should condemn it. So I don't understand why we're not listening to the experts.
Well, all right. We go on to the next question here. I think this Miss Anna Jones. Let me go ahead and try to blow it up too and read. Cause like I say, my eyeballs is not that good. It say the people as a whole in the city of Blytheville need to stand together and help this city move forward instead of being divided. It takes everyone to make things happen, not just one person. Okay, I'm pretty sure Miss Anna Jones is speaking, from a point of view to where it's not so much let me get rid of that. It's not so much she's picking sides. I think what she is trying to ask is that, you know, everyone come together as a whole, working for the good of the city. And so I don't know if you wanted to answer, respond to Miss Jones or what.
No, yes, I agree with her, and I agree with Mr. Blankenship's concerns. I mean, the city manager does not come in and become king or queen of the city. They answer to the board. The board answers to the people. Mm-hmm. If the city manager is not doing their job, they will be removed. The problem is right now under our current system, there's not much of a process for removal if the job's not getting done. Again, I think that Mayor Logan is doing the best job she can given the circumstances, but a new mayor spends 2 years learning how to do the job and 1 year running for re-election. A city manager doesn't have to worry about re-election. They don't have to, play politics with running the city. They run the city the way it's supposed to be run, same rules for everybody.
So are you saying that by this thing being political now in terms of, you know, those elected officials who have to run for their seats and run for re-election, are you saying that, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it seemed like if politics is involved, what I'm hearing from you is that it's almost like there's some, I don't want to use the word dishonesty, but it's almost like they're not putting the people interest first. Is that, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but.
No, I've seen comments about the good old boy system. That is literally what we're trying to get rid of. We want the same rules for everybody. I'm not gonna litigate specific examples, this or that, but we know that it hasn't always been the same rules for everybody. We know that certain council people interfere. If someone gets a code enforcement citation, maybe that council person calls code enforcement and says, "Hey, leave them alone." Maybe water bills have been fixed in the past. You know, that hasn't happened since I've been here that I'm aware of. But politics are always involved under our form, and we're trying to get it out. I did see Ms. Rump's question, what about a relative? I assume she's asking, what about one of my relatives being city manager? I don't have a relative with a degree in public administration. I haven't spoken to any relatives who have any interest in the job. All of my wife and my in-laws that live in town just want to see improvement the same way I do, the same way a lot of us do.
Well, I don't know if I'm glad you knew what she was talking about. I didn't know exactly how to.
Well, you know, people. That's what we hear. It's either Matt Perrin is power hungry, or his wife is power hungry, or someone else is power hungry. I touched on it a little bit. There's this ugly thing going around that I'm an unelected official. The sad truth.
Speak to that. Holdover, I think, was the term that
an unelected
I saw that
holdover.
on Chief Thompson, Chief Ross Thompson,
okay.
ex-chief. I think he referred to you as a holdover. In other words, the way I look at it is that don't nobody want you.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
Well, I can look at it from this term as well. Don't nobody want to seat, and so I mean, that's where the term come from. Holdover is because no one had an interest in running for your particular seat. So it's either one of the two things. You was doing a great job as city councilman for your particular ward. Is it Ward 2 still?
Yes, sir.
Because I know they changed. I used to be in your ward, but I'm in Ward 3 now. So that's the reason I asked. And so if don't no one have a desire to want to run for the seat, that's not your fault, right?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone has an issue with me being in the seat, they need to call, I guess, Representative Carr or State Senator Wallace, because it's state law.
State law.
The person in this seat,
correct?
Yes, sir. The person in this seat is the last person who was elected to this position, I'm happy to jump into the why of city manager, and that feels like a good leading point. Our government is broken. No one wants to get involved. Civic engagement is at an all-time low. In 2024, the 3 council people running for re-election ran unopposed. In 2022, no one ran for my position.
Okay.
In 2022 mayoral election, we've got a population of 13,000 something. About 2,500 people voted in the whole city. And so when I hear anyone talk about this is trying to stifle our voice, the opposite is true. My wife spent much of 2024 doing voter registration, going to the schools, getting teachers, students, parents registered to vote, because the sad truth is that Arkansas is the last place state for voting, and Mississippi County is the last place county for voting, which means that Mississippi County has about the worst voter turnout in the country. And we want to change that. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that folks feel disenfranchised. No one wants to run for city council because it's ugly and we don't get anything done.
Well, thanks for the insight in terms of, some things that goes on with the city elected officials as to why it seems like they don't really actually. These are my words now, not yours. It's almost like they're not putting the people first as long as politics are in it. And at the same time, I'm hearing that people, they have this apathetic mindset that, I don't know, I guess they feel like I hear so often they're going to do what they want to do anyway. And so I guess that's why, not trying to make excuses for them, but I'm thinking that's the reason why some people just don't turn out to vote. They just believe, they say it's a good old boy system. They're going to do what they want to do. My little one vote is not going to change anything. And so, again, I'm not justifying why they shouldn't vote, but those are some of the things I hear as well. That's Miss Joanne Bell. I think you spoke on that. She said, just take away the power of the people. So
I would respectfully.
How would the people still have power, or would they lose it all?
Respectfully, the power still sits with the people, even more so. They get to, if you live in Ward 2, right now you get to vote for 2 council people. Under the city manager board of directors, you get to vote for 5. You get to vote for the person in your ward, and you get to vote for the 4 running at large.
Okay,
you
you
don't get to vote for a mayor anymore under the new management. Just like in a functioning school district, you don't vote for the superintendent. You trust your representative to hire the most qualified candidate to run the city.
Okay,
and so, go ahead.
Go. Just want to touch base on that. That's where we had, back in the 80s, I believe, 80s up to the 90s. The school district used to have at-large voting system, to where a court found at-large voting system. They found it to be discriminatory. As you indicated earlier, it was mostly, associated with gerrymandering. That's where the lines are drawn to favor a particular candidate or a particular person of whatever party or what have you. And so the court, they struck down that map at-large system. That's why we have now our school boards. That's why we have 8 school board members. Is because of they found that at-large system to be unconstitutional. All right, and so if it wasn't fair as to how they drew the map for the school district in terms of, that map was considered to be discriminatory, how can the people, have hope that if we have some at-large seats with this board, how can they not be sure that the same thing won't happen with an at-large? Because you said, what do you say, 4 seats is going to
be at large?
And you only got, you only got 3 of the seated board of directors would be by each particular ward, Ward 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
Yeah, I mean this process. I'm hoping that it's a fresh start. That we need good people to run in every corner of this city who care about every corner of this city. I would like the opportunity to
Would the
vote.
map be redrawn? I mean, because again, we're trying to go ahead and be careful that we don't, fall into what occurred with the school district. When we start talking about, I mean, now the seats for the wards. I mean, they are set in concrete. What I'm saying, but I'm
Yes,
talking about
we
these four seats that is going to be selected at large. Uh, is there any kind of map for that? I mean, how would those seats be? Like those four seats? What I'm saying.
I mean, anybody that lives in the city limits can run for those positions, and when they run, there will be 7 positions. We can, for instance, positions 1, 2, and 3 will be those ward representatives, and the other
Right.
4, someone will collect signatures and say, "I'm running for position 4. I'm running for position 5." Um, I would like the opportunity to vote for 5 of the 7 city council members personally. I get to vote for 2 right now.
So in
But
other
that
words,
but
let's just
that
take
comes.
myself.
But if
Take myself for an example.
sure.
So at-large voting system, I live in Ward 3. That's where I'm at, Ward 3. But an at-large candidate as myself is what I would be running. That means that I don't necessarily have to live in my particular ward, Ward 3. I can run, all of my votes will come from all 3 wards as opposed to my votes just coming from Ward 3. Is that what you?
Correct. That's
Okay.
exactly right. As long as you live in the city limits. And I had a question about, well, if we do this, does everyone in the county get to vote? No. This is just Blytheville citizens voting for Blytheville representation.
Okay. All right. All right.
But it is going to take good people looking within themselves, deciding that this is worth it to do. Whether that is stepping up to run for a board position or just getting out the door and going to vote, because you don't get to complain if you don't vote.
Okay, we're gonna go to the board one more time. I want you all to forgive me if you have sent in a question and I just somehow not able to get to you. Charge it to my time because we got a set time here, and so I'm not trying to by no means be selective as to what questions I put on the board, as to what questions I don't. Okay. We have let's go ahead, Miss Cody, Miss Cody Brooke Perrin, and so that's a name I know you know pretty well, and so she has a question. The average turnover rate for the city director nationwide is about 11%, which indicate low turnout. Okay.
So I think she was trying to help. She was trying to help answer a question from before about city managers leaving.
And Code, yes, that's what was my question. Thank you, Miss Cody. That was my concern. These city managers, they coming and going. And I didn't think that was going to serve the interests of Blytheville. If we get someone just want to use Blytheville as a stepping stone, for the next better paying job elsewhere, and so
and I mean a little bit of that. I want someone to come in who's hungry to make change, to make an effective and efficient government. Someone who 10 years down the road wants to be the city manager in Little Rock or wants to be the city manager in Denver or wherever else. They need to come cut their teeth and prove that they can help turn Blytheville around. That's great. And then they'll be here for, hopefully 8 to 12 years, and then they'll move and we'll get a fresh set of new eyes.
So what do you think about that question I got on the board right now? That's from Mr. Eric Blair. He stated, if this is passed, none of the current city council, no, he say if this is passed, none of the current city council should be allowed to be on the board. Can city council members run for those seats at large?
Yes, I maybe agree with Mr. Blair's sentiment, but we if current council members think that they can continue to serve the people, they'll collect signatures and they'll run for a board position just like everybody else. I hope that if this passes, nobody runs unopposed. Democracies die when people run unopposed because campaigns are supposed to be when you get to debate ideas. And when we don't have to campaign,
Okay.
there's no conversation.
Well, in this particular case, it wouldn't do any good for the council to run no way because number one, they already obtaining a seat right now, right? And so for them to
So
run
the timeline for this is we're gonna ask the people to vote on this in March. If and when it passes, then we'll fall right into campaign season 2026. Except instead of a mayor and council members running for re-election, it'll be a board of directors running for election.
Mm-hmm.
Once they are elected, they'll start the job, and the council and mayor are relieved of their duty.
When you say relieve of their duty, would they still be in office, or would they just?
No, they'll be done. The first meeting that the board of directors has essentially releases the council from their positions, and that's not me. That's in the state law, which again is on our website.
Council and the mayor.
The council and the mayor. But I mean, based on the timeline, we expect the board of directors to meet at the earliest in December of 2026, when the mayor is in her last month of her term, when the council is in their last month, unless they just got reelected in 2024.
Let me ask you this here: let's say someone decided to file a lawsuit, and let's just say the higher court, they issue a stay, which means not do anything yet until a court have a hearing on the question or the issues, that is. Do you anticipate for us hearing anything? Do you anticipate on the mayor or the council perhaps taking some legal action?
I don't anticipate it. We're following the letter of the law. I've spoken several times and met with the Arkansas Municipal League to make sure we were covering our bases. We went and sat down with the city attorney, Chris Brown, when the Municipal League said, we've given you everything that we can, and you need to talk to your city attorney. And we did that. So we're following the letter of the law. I think asking the people to vote, I guess I don't know who would file suit against that, but okay. I have found, and I guess it shouldn't be all that surprising, the loudest voices against this change seem to be the people who are either currently holding power or desire power in the future.
And I'm not saying that, because I don't, first of all, I don't know if anyone going to file a lawsuit, but then again, the lawsuit has to have merits, in order to get a judgment granted in their favor. And so I would love to hear from anyone who decide to want to bring legal action. I would like to, read that complaint to see exactly if there is any merits there, because as we know it now, we had the state law up there. The state law does allow for a change of local government in terms of converting from a mayor council to a city management board of directors. That is law, as we put it on screen back here a few minutes ago. But here's one right here. Let me read that. They say, I think what Councilman is trying to change is code enforcement and other things being enforced so the city can have the funds to pay to improve the city. If I'm mistaken, am I mistaken in that? I guess that's a question to you. Is that?
I mean, that's a part of it. The expertise that a city manager brings to the job is building a budget that makes sense, that is backed by metrics, by key performance indicators. And I know I'm a broken record every year when we start doing our budget for the next year with the city, talking about metrics. What are metrics? Metrics. Metrics are data driven decisions, essentially. They can be, some of our departments do track them. The police department's doing a great job reporting response time. The fire department keeps track of how many fires did we put out. Those are basic things. We tried to implement metrics for every single department a few years ago. We contracted with the company and it fell through, and I was never really clear why, other than that maybe the software was difficult. But we don't have metrics. We largely set the budget based on what did it look like last year. And so we don't know. We haven't tied our funds to goals. And so we don't know if we're spending money in the right place or not. Every year I try to cut a little bit out of the budget, because I do think that there's waste. I think our finance department's done a great job. Mayor Logan and John Cowens have put together a narrative to go along with the budget each year now that kind of explains when there are major differences, but there's no real why behind why we're spending what we're spending in each department. And so we're not being strategic.
Well, I think just from a personal, my own personal opinion, every year when these budgets per department heads come out, it seems like the code enforcement, just me now, I think the code enforcement come up short. I mean, because, either they don't have the necessary manpower or they don't have the necessary equipment, to do the job, especially when you have to rely on people grabbing, grab a garbage bag and some Saturday morning going out, picking up trash. And that is a noble thing. I mean, I'm not taking away from that. I would say in cases, I think I spoke to you earlier today, I think the only way that you're going to get Tony Hollis to participate in something like that is to help the little lady who's disabled, that can't get out and cut her grass, they can't pick up around her house. She just don't have the funding, but we're talking about able-bodied people, who are committing a bunch of this filth. And with us going out on any given Saturday, cleaning up behind able-bodied grown folks, I think it's just, it's pitiful. And we need to send a message to those who violate our city that, you're going to suffer the consequences if you consider the litter, do things against, either against the law or against the city ordinance as it relates to code enforcement. And so I think if this new manager or the council, if they so happen to stay in place, I will hope that they reconsider giving code enforcement what they need so they can be, effective in serving the people. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree as much as I can. The fact is we don't have data to say that code enforcement has too little money or too much money, because we're not measuring anything. And so when someone says to me like, "Hey, how's Blyville doing?" I could say, "Well, Blyville's doing good." And they'd say, "Well, how do you know?" I said, "I don't know. It just feels good." Or, "How's Blyville doing?" "Not that good." "Well, how do you know?" It just doesn't really feel that good. And so when we're not measuring things, we don't know how to spend our money.
Well, I'm just going by the report that I think his name Mark, right? Who's over
Mr. Key, Public Works.
Yeah, I'm just going by a lot of reports that he give. When things go lacking thereof, one of the the main talking points that he give in his reports is that the manpower and the man hours are just not there. And if we got to do something about that. If we serious about trying to clean up this city, even if we have to go ahead and amend the budget, look at how much money we're spending with, the police department. We need the police department. We need to give them everything they need to do their job effectively and safely going home to their families. And so I'm not knocking the police department, but we really do need to put money toward our code enforcement. I mean, just my little 2 cents.
But speaking of public works, there's a real straightforward metric that we're not measuring. If the city took the time to say, well, how much acreage does the city have to mow? How long does it take to mow that much? How much manpower or woman power does it take to mow that much? And then allocate the resources for that, because there are citizens, there are volunteers out there right now cleaning public spaces, which is great. But the question folks should be asking is, why is that necessary? If it's public space, it makes it very difficult for code enforcement to say, hey, your grass is too tall, when that resident can say, hey, your grass is too tall too.
Yeah.
So.
Got a question. I don't know if this is a question or a
Sure.
statement. Bradley Baylor. We know that the previous school board was unable to hire a superintendent. What's going to give us assurance that the board can choose a city manager? I think you already answered that. I think you even made somewhat examples to the school board in terms of.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to the specifics. It seemed like we had some dysfunction in our school board, the same way we have some dysfunction in our city council. I'm hoping and pleading with the public to, again, look inside yourselves and decide that you can run for these board positions and help find the right candidate. Not the coolest candidate, not the most fun candidate. Might not be a candidate that looks like you or looks like me.
Mm-hmm.
Just the one with the qualifications to turn this around.
Well, I'm looking through my questions. The time right now is right at 57 minutes. I didn't know we was on that long. Boy, times fly. But we're gonna try to move through here and see if we can get someone that we hadn't pulled up yet. This is Miss Sammy Davis. It said we want to vote for our mayors. So let me see. So we can hold them accountable. Also, if the city manager hires the mayor, will the mayor have authority to make decisions? I think we talked about the overlapping of authority, who does what.
Oh,
This, that, and the other.
I mean, I'm happy to talk on it. I mean, that sounds amazing that we hold our mayors and our city council accountable. I don't feel that happening. When we closed the old police station, I kind of made the push to start having council meetings at the Ritz. I was hoping that would yield higher turnout. If nobody comes and asks questions, then we just assume we're doing a good job, and we're not. And then to the second point, the city manager. Let's see. The city manager doesn't hire the mayor. The mayor is one of the board members who will serve for 1 year, and each year the board will appoint one of their own to be the mayor, who represents the city, who signs ordinances and contracts. And if I haven't mentioned, the board of directors serve 4-year terms, just like the city council. So if you elect a board member and they're doing a bad job, replace them. Just like the system we have now. But no one's running. No one's replacing the elected officials.
Well, we're going to see if we can take one more question here. Well, actually, we'll try to do 2 more, and then we're going to have to call it quits, I guess.
Sure.
But before we take this next question, I want to go and see if there's been any changes to the
Sure.
To the poll that is that we talked about putting out. I'm trying to get over there right now. If you all see me looking over, that's because I'm trying to pull certain stuff up. And so we're gonna go over here to the board. Okay, we're gonna transfer it. Let me get rid of this banner right quick. Okay. Well, oops, let me get rid of that too. It seems like everything is trying to pop up over here. Let me go ahead and get rid of that. All right. Now we can see everything. It say, again, this is the poll. Are you in favor of a city manager? Again, it seems like the needle is moving toward yes. You can look at that chart. Over 50% of those who say if they were to vote today, that their answer would be yes. They are in favor of the city manager. And this map is changing for those of you who remember what it looked like back here. And it's changing now. You just saw it change again. It's still holding right at, over 50% of the voting. If that we had to have this election today, over 50% of voters say that they will vote yes in favor of a city manager. Of course, like I say, this is not a true representation because those who say that they will vote against it might not even go to the polls to vote, okay? Might not even be registered to vote. Just plumb lazy, just don't want to, carry out their civic duty, okay? And so this polling that we're doing, although it do give us an idea of how one will vote, it's not a true representation. I want to be clear on that. Excuse me. And so that's what I wanted to show, Councilman, to let everyone know that,
Yes, sir.
we still do have some work ahead of ourselves to do. And I'm trying to hopefully bring you, I think I need to bring you back on the scene. Oh, there we go.
I'd be happy to. My number is very public. If you or any of the listeners have questions, call me, text me, email me. I'm not always going to answer. I am busy. I'm at the office at 8 p.m. on a Sunday right now because we got work that's due tomorrow. But I want to give you the facts, and I want people to decide. What I can tell you is that if you don't think that our current government is broken, then you're not paying attention. And I hope that you will pay attention. I hope if you're not registered to vote, you will go register to vote. I hope that if you think you're the right person to run for these board positions, that you'll consider doing it. We spoke with a strategic planning. We brought a firm in earlier this year, and they all pointed to this same thing. And I said, well, "Are you sure? Like a city manager would come to Blytheville?" They said, "Yeah. Usually, city managers have to figure out how to bring jobs to a city, how to bring education to a city. Blytheville's got a thriving industry. We've got a thriving college. We just can't turn it around on the department, on the day-to-day quality of life stuff." Any city manager would jump at the chance to be a part of turning Blytheville around, and we would welcome it.
Well, all right. Look like we got two other questions. I thought I saw a question, Mr. Michael Smith. Oh, there he go. Mr. Michael Smith has a question that says, "It seemed like the change would move from transformative leadership to authoritarian leadership. Am I correct?" Well,
I would.
It seems like people are really, which it's something new. Every time we hear a change, people get a little, oh, I don't know, And so again, should the voters or should the general public, for that matter, should we be looking at someone who is getting ready to take over and going to be more of a authoritarian leadership as opposed to one that is there for the people?
I appreciate the question, and especially in in today's politics, I understand the concern. I don't think that that's what's happening here. The same checks and balances would exist. Again, the city manager doesn't get to spend over a certain amount without approval by the board. And if the city manager is doing a bad job, the city manager gets fired.
Mm-hmm.
And if the board of directors are doing a bad job, hopefully people run against them so that it's not the same unopposed elected officials over and over and over. Because I would not say that what we have right now in Blytheville has been transformative change. I wish that I could. I think, again, Mayor Logan is doing the best job she can. I've got a small business on Main Street. There's a fire hydrant with a trash bag over it. Been like that for months. There's cones all up and down the sidewalk. Been like that for months. The crosswalks haven't been painted. That's not just Main Street. That's Main. That's Ash. That's all downtown. Things just aren't getting done, and it's through no individual's fault. It's that our mayor does not have the education to be a city manager.
Well, I
She
was
is
going
a
to ask you that.
she is a great person,
Yeah,
and she is doing the best she can. But we have given her an impossible job to try to run day to day, to try to set vision, long term goals, all the while dealing with the ugly politics of the council.
You know, I was going to ask you that. You mentioned qualification, and have the expertise, or in some cases the some type of I don't know if a degree is needed or what, but to show that they are best qualified to run the city. So I was going to ask you that question. So what is it that if we were not considering this city manager position right now, okay, what would you say that the mayor need right now to be effective in doing her job that is lacking? I mean, what is it that is lacking right now to cause her not to be effective in, turning this city around? Or what are we talking about? Doing some type of infrastructure, or what are we talking about? We talked a lot about infrastructure. I mean, code enforcement, what have you. I mean, what is it that she's lacking that she need to be effective in doing her job?
Again, and this is not to avoid the question. I don't think that it's anything that Mayor Logan is lacking. I think that it is the system that we're asking her to operate under. We are asking her to run the day to day, to oversee department heads, and to set long-term vision and goals. And it's not feasible. And so making this switch, putting a person with a master's degree in public administration in charge of publicly administrating over this city, and letting that board of directors sit down and get real about where do we need to be a year from now? Where do we need to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Because, as you know, as someone who watches the city council meetings, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about the future. We are almost 100% reactionary. We're sitting up on the table thinking, why can't we have nice things, and waiting for the next emergency?
Mm-hmm. Well, I really appreciate you for that, elaborating a little bit more on that, Councilman Perrin. For all of you who seem to be looking over, when my head is turning, I'm looking at my board as these questions come in. So I'm not being disrespectful to my guest. When I turn away, I'm looking at my board as I am now. I think Miss Brooks already. She had answered. Let me see, Michael Smith. I think she had simply just said, Michael Smith, you can further explain. This is a democratic form of government that exists for 100 years in our country. No authoritarian leadership is being suggested, I promise you. And so she elaborated on that.
This has been around since I think 1908, city manager form of government. There are about 3,500 cities in the country that have switched to this city manager form of government.
Mm-hmm. And Miss Cody, he responded back. Miss Perrin, Cody Brooke Perrin, meaning the voice of the citizens would be silenced when it comes to electing a mayor. Am I right or am I off track? And so he pretty much having a side conversation with Miss Pat.
Mr. Smith, I'm gonna call you.
We also have I'm gonna try to get about 3 more questions in. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you.
Sure.
To go ahead and give closing remarks. Eric Blair, a city manager is required to have a master's degree in public administration, which the mayor doesn't have. That's all he was saying. Not that she's uneducated or anything to that sense. And so I think I had already kind of had you to elaborate on that about I didn't want anyone to think that you was I'm not trying to put words at your mouth, but
No.
I was trying to get an understanding. Were you alluding to her lack of education, that she can't do the job, or
No. Absolutely not.
you want to
I
clear
think-
that up? I mean, because
I think having served in 2 administrations now, I can tell you that this is the most successful administration I've served in between the 2. And Melissa is incredibly intelligent. I was simply stating that is not what her background is in. So that's I did not mean to cause offense. I saw a comment earlier on about what does Mayor Logan think about this. My wife and I went and sat down with Melissa last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago now, because we do care about her and we wanted her to hear it from us first. I think similar to
how did
previous.
she take it, if you don't mind? I mean, is that you want to keep that between?
No,
y'all
I mean
meeting,
I'm
or-
happy to tell you what we took away from it, and she may want to clarify. She didn't throw us out of her office. We left on good terms. I think other previous mayors have kind of felt the same way she did, that maybe this is a good idea, but after I'm done being mayor. And I can tell you that Melissa was pretty clear that she wants another term. She wants at least one more term because she has some unfinished business, to which I said, I hope that if this happens, if this reorganization happens, that she would consider serving on the board of directors, because she is uniquely experienced in the difficulties of our current government, and I think she could help guide the next government. So
well,
we didn't go as far as to ask Mayor Logan for her signature, but we left on good terms. She said she was going to think about it and pray about it, and I believe that she did.
Well, I want to say this here. I thank you for coming on. We're getting down to that hour now where time is closing in on us. I think that's Miss Sheila Rump. The more things supposed to change, the more they stay the same. I think she's just making a statement, not really a question.
Well, I hope we can prove that wrong together, Ms. Rumpf.
Yeah, and so Miss Rump, Councilman Perrin, he is stating that he wants you to be hopeful and just know that they going to try to change this, going to try to make changes and things not stay the same, if I understand Councilman Perrin correctly.
Yes, sir. And I see Miss Sheila has another comment about all this time and now all of a sudden. Like I said before, I wish we would have done this 30 years ago. The only better time to do it is right now.
Well,
we
like
need
I
a
said,
fresh
people
start.
are afraid of change, and so it's something new, especially when people who are in office are looking at probably their authority or power being restricted, whatever. Or in some cases, they're gone. No, their service is no longer needed, and so it is a scary thing for some state representatives. I mean, some city representatives, and I think that the voters who are speaking now may be pretty fond of those particular people who serving now, and so that's why we can sort of get it going back and forth. Just one last one here. what is this? This is okay. I'm understanding a little better. If there is a board of directors, city manager, there isn't any need for a mayor or city council. So this is taking away the
Once
power
again, the
of
board of
citizen
directors,
voting right.
the board of directors will still be elected positions, just like the council are now. They will serve 4-year terms. They'll hopefully do a good job. And if they do a bad job, somebody better will run. I hope and I pray.
Okay.
But we are not taking away any voting rights. We've got a really low bar to hit. We only had 2,500 people vote in the last mayoral election. There's no reason we can't double that number, because again, if people aren't voting, then they're not being represented anyway. We want every single person who can vote to vote.
All right. We're going to take this last question here, and then we're going to go ahead and let you have closing remarks. This is from Mr. Bradley Baylor. I think he had another question. He said, Do you believe that one of the main reasons people aren't voting is because we live in one of the poorest counties in the state, and many residents lack access to voter education and understanding of what voting truly means? I mean,
I'm sure it's a number of reasons why we're the lowest. That absolutely tracks with everything we know. Yeah. And so we have to take an interest. We have to engage. You have to have uncomfortable conversations with friends and family and say, are you registered to vote? And if they're not, you don't shame them. You tell them why it's important, because we do live in a democracy where our voice is heard by our vote. And we don't get to do it all the time. So when a vote comes around, you got to make your voice heard.
Okay, I think, and I want to say to those who are sending in questions, of course, we can't get them all. I think some of them pretty much tie together in terms of what Councilman Perrin has already spoken on. And so hopefully sometime after this show, that's up to him if he can find the time. He's real busy, as he said.
Tony, I'll come on as often as you'll have me.
Yeah, with his tax information. And again, yes, don't make yourself no stranger. We want to try to watch this process move forward, and keep us updated on your signatures. Again, for those of you who are looking in, I want to put my code. We want to get one more, I think, give you probably about 3 more minutes to go ahead and vote, and we're gonna see what we have, okay? And so let's go ahead and put that put it back on let me take away this banner first, hide it, get the banner down, and now transfer it, okay? And so again, that's the let me get rid of this banner again. Banner done pop back up. Okay, getting rid of the banner. So if you want to scan that code, again, it seems like the votes are still holding steady to where overwhelmingly, y'all hear me, that if this thing was had today, this particular petition, that is, a vote going before the people, it will be voted in. And I'm just going to show you right now. I'm finna get my cell phone, and I'm finna show you how easy this is. Like I say, all you do is you use your cell phone and, your camera, that is, and you put it up there and you scan the code. I'm finna vote right now. Okay, I'm finna vote right now. Okay, I just scanned it. I want you to pay attention to the change in the chart that you're looking at. Right now, you have the majority of it. It's just changed again. Someone voted no. I hadn't voted yet, so that wasn't my vote. Okay. Okay.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
I hope you're still undecided
I'm
at
go ahead
least.
and vote now. As I say, I'm undecided. So I'm telling you what my vote gonna already be right now. It's in the yellow. So look for the yellow to move, okay? I'm finna vote undecided right now. And watch how it change. Okay. You see that? It changed. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're saying about watching the pie chart. All right. And so hopefully those of you who are looking on, you can continue to vote. We got about maybe 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to give Councilman Matt Perrin an opportunity to go ahead and give his closing. I'm thinking I'm in court. To go ahead and give his closing words in terms on this subject. Are you in favor of a city manager form of government? So we're going to let him have the last word. But meanwhile, somebody vote no. I like the no votes trying to pick up. All right, watch the graph now. But I want to say, as I said earlier before we had all the problems, the technicalities coming on. I will be coming back to you all doing a show on the City of Manila Police Department. Okay? There was a young lady who was sort of manhandled in a traffic stop. I'm trying to get all the information right now, before I move forward with going to the next. I'm not going to go any further than getting the information, but to get the necessary information to give to this young lady who was treated badly, and hopefully, she will speak with an attorney. But the problem that we're having right now, and I'm going to call his name. His name is Captain, I think his last name Lancaster. I forgot his first name. But he's the captain over at the Manila Police Department. He has been just downright defiant. Will not even answer my email. Actually, he done stopped answering. I got everything but one body cam of a particular police officer that was on the scene that particular day. He is refusing to even answer the question, in which I hadn't asked him a question. If there is no body cam available, then he should let me know that, okay? We got about 1 minute, you all, and then we're going to close down the poll. And so I'm going to send him another email probably tomorrow. And hopefully if he don't answer my email by the closing of the workday, I just might have to go ahead and take him to circuit court to where he will appeal and to answer why he has been defiant and not obeying the laws of the Freedom of Information Act. And so that's where we at on that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got about 30 seconds now. Y'all get it in when you can get it in. You seeing the chart right now. It looked like Councilman Matt Perrin, if this was a horse race, he got to jump on you. Don't mean him personally, but just speaking of the petition, that is.
I'm not getting excited yet. I think we got a lot more educating to do.
Yeah, we do. The red is closing in. You got about 15 seconds. If we don't close this thing out, look like the green will have it. And you will have a change of government as it relates to how you want to operate your city government. All right? And so, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of that poll. We're going to shut it down right now. And hopefully, I'm going to pause it at some time to where no other polling will take place. And so if you go in there and you're trying to vote, that's only because I have paused all the voting. Look like someone red just picking up, but that's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. And so it appears that if this vote was had today, Councilman Perrin, look like you got the vote that you want. Look like if this thing was to go to the voters today, it looked like it would pass.
Well, unfortunately, looking at the numbers, it looks like low voter turnout, like we're used to. I hope we get higher numbers than that. But
and like I said, it's not a true representation. We're just I'm not saying this is a funny matter, but no, it's kind of like just having a little fun.
Yes, sir.
Just saying trying to check the people's head to see where they are.
No, I get it.
Going to go ahead and give you the final closing remarks, if you will, in terms of you asking the people as to why this petition not only should gather these 500 votes. I don't know how many you're trying to get, but this is something that is worthy going to the people for them to decide as to what form of government do they want to have going forward. So I give you the last words to close it out.
Yeah, just the biggest thing is that as this continues, you're going to hear a lot of information, and I want to make sure that you're hearing the factual information. My goal is to persuade, because I've been inside the current government for now 7 years. It's not working, but I'm not going to lie to you. If you hear something about city manager that maybe doesn't sound right, or maybe it sounds like something that concerns you, call me, email me, text me, go to the website and look at the state laws yourself. We are not trying to take the votes away from the people. We are trying to give the CEO of our city a chance to make our government run effectively and efficiently, and put the responsibility of planning and vision setting on the board of directors, who will be elected by us, by you, the people. And when they do a bad job, I hope someone will run against them. Unfortunately, that hasn't always been the case. I hope, if nothing else, this is raising civic engagement, and maybe forcing some people to look at themselves in the mirror and think, maybe I need to run for city council. Maybe I need to run for board of directors. Otherwise, democracy dies.
All right, exactly, and we see that every day as we watch the news, how our democracy is yet against the ropes, and it's just a matter of time before the knockout punch is laying on democracy, and we're no better than Korea, North Korea, China, and some of the other communist countries.
And I can't.
So
You
Russia,
and I,
Russia.
unfortunately, can't do. You and I, unfortunately, I don't know. We've got elections coming up at the national level, but what we can do is affect change at the local level.
Local elections are very important. I'm glad you spoke on that.
Yes, sir.
I hear so often what people always want to concern about electing a president. It sounds like that's the only thing they talk about. But they need to understand is that, you are effective at the local level, local elections, that it be city council races, that it be court members. And I even go so far to say our stake officials. We need to be concerned about our local, county, and stake elections, and not just always being concerned about who is it that you want as president. They don't talk about the United States senators. They don't talk about the United States representatives. All they go to the poll and they talk about is who's going to be president, when it's the president have to have a Congress and a Senate to work with him or her to get things done. But I don't know if they understand that. But local elections is very important, and hopefully we can get the necessary information out and hold the necessary seminars or what have you, trying to educate, inform our local voters, because like you say, Arkansas is a state that is. I mean, we are lousy when it comes to voter turnout. And so I want to thank you for coming on, and please don't be a stranger. We'd love to hear from you and see how, for you to give us an update as to, how the petition is going, and, and what's next.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the time, truly.
All right, then, Councilman Perrin, glad for stopping by, and may you have a remaining blessed day, okay?
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is Councilman Perrin. He came on and he gave you some information, hopefully, that you understand. Not so much agree, but not so much to disagree, but at least you have the information right now that if you had to go to the polls today, that you have heard enough to where you are informed to where you can make a the best vote for you and your family, and hopefully for the city of Blytheville. And so I want to thank you all for sitting with me. I'm sorry we had the technicalities getting started up. It seemed like when I have a long layoff, which I have, seemed like I got to learn all this technical stuff with these different things I have down here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I have some. I have a lot of stuff down here that I be working with sometime, and sometime I have to, bring those things on. As you can see, I'm cluttered down here. I'm sitting at my seat right now. I got a bunch of stuff on my desk, all different little types of things, if you will, lights. I got interfaces. I get keyboards. I got some everything on my desk right now, and so this is where I try to make things happen as you see me on the show, and so that's what I be doing, and so hopefully I've given you enough information, ladies and gentlemen, for you to make a informed decision as to what you believe that need to happen in regards to this petition that is out. Is it something that you want to go forward or not? Okay. I got a bunch of stuff up here on my computer that I'm trying to get back to. But anyway, I hope you have a remaining blessed today. And oh yes, please, spread the word and get the information out. Okay. And I want to thank you all for sitting with me for this, looking a little over an hour now. And I will give you an update as the information come to me. Okay, I will do that. I'm trying to see if I had anything over here for as announcements that I need to put out. I don't think I do. But again, I thank you all for sitting with me. Okay. And may you all, let me do one last showing of the vote tally, because like I say, the green was winning, and let's go and see what it's doing now. Look like the nose is closing in, so it looked like the undecided vote is what gonna tell the story. Look like green trying to hold his own, and red closing in, but we still need the needle to move on those undecided voters. So again, I'm finna go ahead and shut down this voting right now. I'm going to pause it, and so if you're trying to, I probably already done paused it. Let me go over here and see. So if I have paused the voting, that simply just means you just can't vote anymore. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to go over here and find that. Here we go, right here. Trying to go over here and find it right now, the code. Go over here and see if I paused it. I don't know if I paused it or not. If I have, that's the reason that you can't vote again. And I'm looking at it right now, and it appears that it's not paused. And so, but that's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. On the vote itself, it seems like it's still going on, and hopefully you'll get out and do the right thing. I kind of lost my thoughts, so forgive me. Well, that's my show, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you all for tuning in, and come back again. I would say next week, but I don't know exactly when I'm gonna run the next show. I'm busy right now, and I'll just say stay tuned, okay? So I want to say peace and love, everybody, and may God bless, and may God keep you all until we see each other again. Bye-bye now.